Dream lore finale for Dream SMP. It's a good topic. I think it turned out great. I was really happy with it. Obviously, if we had more time and everything, we could do more. But I'm happy with what we did, with what we were given, and I'm happy with how everything went. It went great. I quite enjoyed playing the character, and I like role playing and stuff is fun. Obviously, I had a good time. It was great. Kind of the daily streaming with Tommy. It took me back to back in the day, Tommy and Tubbo and everything. I think it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I think revealing a lot of the stuff that, in terms of intentions, it was all stuff that has kind of already been out there, but not like kind of concise, and also not like the Tommy and C Tommy and C Tubbo. But it was fun. Can you talk about why C Tommy saw that in his limbo? I'd say that's more of a question for Tommy than me. Because my reasoning is well, it's what pushed the story along, but I don't know what the Tommy's reasoning behind it is, and what Tommy's character's reasoning behind it is. So, I think that the way that I would interpret it is that it's kind of like Tommy wants like this is how I would interpret it, and totally Tommy could completely disagree. So feel free to disregard everything I'm about to say if you don't like it at all. But I would interpret it as that Tommy really wants like for his friends to be able to for it to be simple and for him to just be having fun with his friends. How it used to be back in the early days of the server, and so seeing that, but for his for seeing that, but for Dream, the Dream experiencing what he wants, and of course, Dream is his nemesis, whatever. That's how I would interpret it. But can you confirm the interaction between Dream and Tommy wasn't a forgiveness? It was just understanding. Yeah. No. Tommy was not forgiving Dream. I think it was I think Tommy had never seen Dream as anything other than just this evil, bastard that's doing all these horrible, torturous things to him, which he did and was, and had never stopped to think about or even imagine, what Dream was like before, in the past. And so it was more of a humanizing moment of kind of like this person's this person's a human too. We're both from the same place, whatever. And it was definitely not that means that everything's okay. Like I think Tommy said the same thing in the lore. He was like, well, it doesn't, I understand, what your goal is, but this isn't how you do it. And I think it was one of those things where in my mind, it was a moment of, before in the past, you're never going to, if you don't understand somebody's intentions, you don't understand somebody's goals, you don't understand, what somebody wants, and you go into every situation with you're evil, or you're a bad person, whatever. Then you're never going to convince the other person, and it's the same thing you're never going to make any ground with anybody. And I think that so it was the first time where ever between Tommy and Dream where they had any kind of understanding with each other, because they had always just been at each other's throats and had always been fighting for so long, and had never stopped to really try and understand each other, but especially for Dream, as obviously his motives for a million different things had been up in the air, and had been things that not only did the audience not know, but the characters themselves don't know either. But yeah, so I'd say it was 100%. It was not a forgiveness thing. It was an understanding, and it wasn't an understanding with a level of forgiveness. It was just understanding it completely. It was just and I think it was more of a Tommy going up, for the longest time operating under the impression that Dream's just this, evil bastard that just absolutely enjoys torturing me and whatever. And that's the thing, is you can interpret things how you like, but I'd say that there is an element there, and there is an element of enjoyment from from Dream's perspective, because of the past and their history together and whatever. I'm sure Dream does derive some joy from the actions and the things he's put Tommy through and whatever. But obviously, he's not going into it with the intention of, oh, well, I this is my goal is just to bring hell to Tommy or bring hell to the server or whatever. And so I think that the moment of understanding is more understanding that if that's not Dream, if Dream's intention isn't, or Dream's main goal is not being an evil person, and deep down he does have good intentions, even if he's is an evil bastard for the way he went about things. That maybe there is a way to make it work. Because if you're just pure evil, then you get rid of it from the earth. Versus if oh, uh, you've done horrible things, you deserve to pay. You deserve to pay for them. You deserve to be punished for them. You deserve to have repercussions from them. But at the same time, um, you can. There is a way where we can work together because we have the same goals. We have the same morals. We have the same, whatever in mind. Um, that's kind of how I look at it. I don't know if that. I don't know. I think it's also more up for interpretation. So. The biggest, like, behind people were saying, oh, Jim purposely put himself in prison, so on and so forth. I was like, well, yeah, but no. Um, in for my understanding of it is, yes, Dream did purposefully put himself into the prison, and the prison was a part of the overall plan, in terms of it wasn't I didn't the prison wasn't built for Dream. The prison was built for the fulfilling Dream's goals overall, and the ability to do that. And one of those things was to obviously there'd be certain people that would be more likely to get in the way, and unlikely to, and also having the understanding of the fact that there was a revival book. Um, Dream, after kind of becoming aware of that, and coming to possession of one himself, Dream had the idea that, well, what if somebody like Techno, or somebody like somebody strong, and I'd say in my mind that it was originally, when I came up with the idea for it, it was more so based on Technoblade. And the reasoning for it was Dream being scared of the fact, well, what if there's more? What if there's more revival books? And what if death is not? You can't stop somebody with death. Like, it's scary knowing that you can beat somebody fully, and then they're just there. And so he thought the idea of making a prison where, if that ever does come to be, where somebody is trying to stop his goals, hurt the server, whatever, that they'd be able to be stopped by putting them in the prison, which is kind of funny because obviously it kind of ended up being the opposite. But when Dream put himself into the prison, it was thought of as a temporary thing, and ended up lasting a lot longer than he had imagined. And also, on top of that, he didn't expect that Awesome Dude would let Quackity in to fucking torture him. So that obviously made things a million times worse. But the prison wasn't built for Techno, but it was just like, oh, well, seeing Techno's power and stuff back then, and being like, it was one of those things where it was like, oh, what if somebody as powerful as Technoblade, there are people that can be as powerful as me, or whatever, as Sea Dream. And so what if one of them is not on our side, or what if Techno is not in the future, or whatever.